I don't think there was anything I could do there. My team never lived at all, once. Man, this... I hate this. Because all of a sudden, I can feel myself, like, being upset by this loss. And, like, this loss should mean nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. But the fact that I wasn't able to win is, like, really bothering me right now. Like, legitimately, I had, like, one very unfortunate death, but all of them felt avoidable. And even though it's, like, a full team effort, I'm, like, really upset by the fact that I just made all of those mistakes. And I don't understand why it has to get to me so much when it's like the least stakes out of anything. Like, I'm not losing anything by losing that game other than just the knowledge that, like, I have to work on it, but that's, like, what I'm doing. So I'm doing what I have to. I think I'm just disappointed. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think and reflect a little bit. Because this is all part of, like, working on your mental is a lot of self-reflection, a lot of asking yourselves questions about, like, why you're feeling the way you are, what's kind of at the root of it, and what can you do to help address that mindset. It's usually down to some kind of fear, like something you're afraid of. And I can't tell right now if I'm like, am I afraid of, like, my team's expectations? Am I afraid of other people's? Is it my own? Like, what is at stake for me that makes me so upset when I'm having games like that, where I feel, like, very powerless? Like, what is it that's threatening me so much that makes me worried about that? I can't figure it out right now. This might be a little bit understated of a stream just because of what it is I'm working on. I'm not sure if VOD review is really going to be helpful right now. Because again, what I'm thinking about a lot is I kind of know my patterns at this point. I know what it is that gets me into those feelings and what I tend to do after. And so really my concern isn't identifying it, because I've done that work. I've done the work of identifying it. I've done the work of acknowledging it. I've done the work of, like, taking efforts to improve that. And so really, right now, what it's kind of coming down to is, like, what's the next step? What's the methodology here? What's the thing that what's the part of my mind that I need to practice in order to help release me from that kind of response, from that trigger? Because it's not normal for me to have, like, such an emotional reaction to stuff like this. But, like, yesterday and today, every time we had a loss, it felt, like, crushing. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just playing solo queue right now. Just doing some solo practice. I don't know if I'm going to be doing stuff with viewers today. But maybe sometime later this week. Thank you, though. Yeah. I think, I think I might just be putting a lot of pressure on myself. I have some very high goals, and I'm feeling the excitement of achieving them, of getting close to them. And so I think I'm really putting a lot of pressure on myself to try to, like, control and manage everything that might keep me from that goal. And obviously that doesn't work in a team game very well because there's a lot of variables that you cannot account for. A lot of it is, some of it is luck, and skill gets you a very long way. But as far as an individual loss, if I take full responsibility every time there's something like that, it's gonna hurt. And so then I'm gonna start pushing the responsibility on my teammates, and that hurts them. And so the whole flaw here, I think, is just that I'm feeling it as like a failure point in the first place, as a roadblock. These losses don't have to be roadblocks for me, and they can be disappointing, and it can be sad when I lose, but it shouldn't make me feel like I'm taking a step back or that something's blocking me. And I think that a lot of times I'm feeling that way, that like I'm setting an expectation of success that relies on winning for my team, and when we don't reach that, it's like, oh, we haven't progressed, or we haven't overcome this yet, or we haven't learned anything, or we're not thinking about it, and so we're never going to get there. And it's just like, none of that is true. The thing that matters is that we are working on it, and we are taking time for that, and there's too much outside of all four of our control to decide whether we win just because we're doing the right thing. Like, even if we played our best game, someone else could play their best game and still beat us. And it could be a complete fluke. It could be people that, like, 9 times out of 10 we would wipe the floor with. But if they happen to have those perfect plays in that one game, it doesn't mean that, like, we failed. It just means that, like, they did what they won. And I think I'm just so, like, I want so badly to see my team succeed and to see us push higher and to see us improve and to prove to myself, I guess, that I have what it takes and that I'm at the level I want to be, that I'm just like putting so much stock on these losses, and things would be a lot easier for everybody involved if losing was always just an inevitability that isn't going to stop anything. Yeah, it's such a tough thing, because obviously analyzing your weaknesses and understanding that you have, like, you can always do something that might point you towards winning, like you can always carry harder, that mentality is great for improving, and it's really helpful for, you know, not letting your ego get to your head and making sure that you're actually acknowledging what is in your control. But that's the thing, is like, I'm not acknowledging what's in my control. I'm treating, like, everything like it's in my control. Like, every game I could have done something to have won. And, like, on one hand, sure, that's true, but how realistic is that? How fair, how healthy of a mindset is that for me or anyone else? Because while it is certainly a way to have the drive to keep trying, like, the endurance and the mindfulness needed to sustain something like that is just superhuman. And I'm not there. It hurts when I feel that way. So, yeah, the stakes are too high, I think. And it's all me. And no one else is making me feel that way. But the stakes are so high because it's like, if we lose, it's someone's fault. And it's like, if I choose to say it's my fault every time, I'm gonna hate everything. Because I'm gonna feel like I'm terrible. But if I choose to blame my teammates, like, that's not fair. And even if it's true in any way that it's my teammates or my fault for any one game, again, it's just like, in a game as fast as this and as complicated as this, with 8 people on the field all making their own choices, executing their own plays with their own abilities, like, there's a million decisions that happen in this game, and they all make a difference. And so it's just like, when it comes down to it, what's the point of trying to figure out whose fault it is? And it's funny to think of it that way, because like, I don't think of it as me trying to point fingers at anyone or figure out whose fault is it that we lost the game. Like, that's not even what's going through my brain. I'm just going, why did we lose? Why couldn't we win? You know? But that inherently requires something to blame. And again, obviously it's like, at a certain point, like, you can't just always throw your hands up and go, there's nothing I could do. But you also can't be too hard on yourself for shit like this that is completely out of your control. I think that's what I'm really trying to work on right now. Sorry, it's a very, like, emotional topic for me. Don't know how comfortable I am talking about all this on stream. I've had a lot of, I don't know. I just really want to do well. You know, it feels so dumb sometimes to feel so strongly about a game like this. You know, it's such a goofy game. It's very silly. I'm shooting a water gun, I have speakers fly over my shoulders, and I throw a little sprinkler. Like, this game is silly. Like, it's goofy and dumb and stupid. I'm a little squid thing. Like, what the heck? Like, at its core, this game is so, like, whimsical and dumb and such a strange thing to feel so strongly about, but I really like this game, man. I really like this game. And more than that, I really like being good at things, I guess, if that's an arrogant thing to say. I don't know. I like being good at things. And I like being good at this game, and I like working on something and getting better at it, and I like how this game feels to play, and I like I like the people that I've met because of it, and all of that just really makes me want to, it just makes me want to play it and play it really well, I guess. You know, like, existentially, how much value does this have? I don't know. Maybe nothing. But it makes me happy. I like doing it. You know, I like playing with people, and I like playing this game, and I like winning at this game. I like competing to be good at it, and it's like, why has it gotta be so tense sometimes? Like, competition and the drive for competition obviously just inherently is emotionally charged. And, you know, I felt the same way about singing for a very long time, where just the idea of competing was just something I didn't allow myself to really engage with, because I think I just had the same kinds of, like, expectations. The difference is here, you have to acknowledge them, and when I was singing, it was all a solo thing, and so it was just like, yeah, you know, if I'm not as good as this person, whatever, I can still be pretty good. But here it's like, if I'm not good enough for us to win, then I feel like I'm, you know, my team suffers for it. And if I'm not kind enough and not mentally stable enough to deal with that feeling to the point of it getting to my teammates, then that's even worse. It's like I'm doing even more to harm my teammates. And it all comes down to just that feeling of, I want to do better, I want to win, I want to succeed. But just having the confidence to acknowledge it will happen, I guess, is a big part of it. Anyways. I'm sure no one tuned in today to listen to me rant about my own like competitive thoughts. Or maybe you did, and if you did, then I really appreciate that. But we're gonna play the game. I think we've talked long enough.